Hey, what's going on? Welcome to the channel, Dream It, Make It. Today, I've got two pork butts here, and we're gonna find out if it matters if you put them on before the fire starts or after the fire starts. All right, so I've got two pork butts here, an 8-pounder and a 7-pounder. We're gonna throw the 8-pounder on before the fire starts, and then we're gonna throw the 7-pounder on after the smoker is up to temp and running where you want your smoker to run at. And then at the very end, we're gonna taste these and see if there is any difference. But first, we're gonna get seasoned up. And to do that, I'm using 2 Pigs Mafia. It's a steak rub. It's a great steak rub. It's a 2019 World Steak Champion steak rub. So, I mean, it's good. Got a championship under it. Pork butts are a pretty big cut of meat, so you definitely can apply your seasoning pretty heavy. Oh man, this rub smells so good. I mean, I know it's good, I've had it in the past, but it smells, man, every time I put it on, I'm like, oh, it's so good. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and let these sweat out for about 10-15 minutes, then we're gonna flip them over, do the same thing to the other side, and then we're gonna get them on the smoker. All right, so now that I've got the pork butts all seasoned up, all I gotta do is get the smoker filled up with some pellets, then get this pork butt on the smoker, then we're gonna fire it up to low and get to smoking. It's gonna be a good time. All right, today I am cooking directly down on the grate. I am gonna put the bigger one on the right side of the smoker because that tends to be the hotter side. Now that that's on there, we're gonna make sure that our sear plate, smoke plate is set to smoke. Go ahead and get that lid shut down. Turn the smoker to on. Low, get it fired up. All right, now that the smoker is fired up, we're gonna let it come up to temp, and once the smoker is up to temp and it is running consistently, I will then throw the other pork butt on there. Because again, we're testing. Doesn't matter if the pork butt goes on before or after the fire started. Are you gonna get nasty, dirty smoke? Or is it gonna be nice, good smoke flavor? I can go ahead and answer that question for you right now. That pork butt will not taste dirty, not at all. This right here, this method is perfect for your ribs, for your tenderloins. I know this, hands down, that it makes a difference with those. But what I'm trying to figure out, does it really matter with the big cuts of meat? Can you load this thing up with a ton of pork butts and get it all done before the smoke's hitting you in the face, then fire it up, close it down, and let it cook away and still turn out some crazy good barbecue? Let's wait around, let's let this thing start smoking, then let's get this on. All right, so it's past the preheat stage. Let's get this thing opened up. Now we're gonna go ahead and get this other butt placed on the smoker. Get that lid shut back down. All right, so you just saw those pork butts and they look fantastic, looking really good. It's been 8.5 hours on these pork butts. I have done absolutely nothing except for at the 7-hour mark, I went ahead and bumped those temps from low to 200. That's all I did, which then made the grate level run right around 230 to 240, somewhere in that range. That's where it's been fluctuating. Before that, for 7 hours, the temperature was very consistent, right around 200 at that grate level. It was set to low, but at the grate level, it was at 200. I'm talking like never got above 210. In fact, I don't know that it got above 206. 206 was about its peak, and it ranged from 206 to about 196. the entire time for 7 hours. That's where it was running at grate level. It's telling me it's running hot, and it's because I had that lid open and it started sending a bunch of pellets, and so it's okay, it's gonna manage. It'll balance back out. So it'll come down to that 240 range. So what I'm gonna do now is, one, you saw how many pellets I had in it to start with. Those are about to be done, so I'm gonna add some more pellets to it. Now, the first part of this smoke, I was smoking with a maple bourbon blend. I believe it was Bear Mountain pellets. Bear Mountain, does that sound right? Bear Mountain. I threw away the bag. I'm pretty sure it's Bear Mountain. I have smoked with them before and had really good luck with them. They have worked really well in this smoke. However, went to the store and I picked up some Jealous Devil pellets. You ask me why I picked up Jealous Devil pellets? Because I honestly think they're pretty stinking expensive for some pellets. But it was that or some other brand that I've never used and that I don't know that I could trust. And so therefore, I went with the Jealous Devil. I love their briquettes. They're my favorite briquettes on the market. Surely these can't be bad. And they are a cherry, maple, and hickory blend. So I'm gonna add those in right now. I'm gonna turn that little beeper off. And we're just gonna continue to smoke. I think I'm gonna take these pork butts. Just a little further, and then I will wrap them. Let me see what my internal temp is showing. Right now my internal temp is showing 180 on the one probe on the smaller butt. And so we'll see. We'll see how these are rolling. I may wrap, I may not wrap. I told you that already. So I will keep you updated in the process of this. But I think it's time to go ahead and just get these pellets in here. Let's keep cooking. All right, so that's kind of cool. It's in the box. It's got this little opening that you can close up and hold the pellets, which doesn't matter if you have the Oklahoma Joe's pellet bucket. But that's kind of a cool feature. All right, here we go. Dumping them in. All right, 20-pound box. Filling up the hopper. There we go. Whew. Gonna keep rolling. There's no way that I use 20 pounds. I didn't even start with a full hopper and it's already gone 8.5 hours. Now, it was down. I should have showed you, but I didn't. It was down to like the last, like 2 fistfuls of pellets going down into that auger. So it was getting pretty low after 8.5 hours on what I put in there, and you saw how much I put in. So there it is, another load in. Let's keep smoking. All right, so the pork butts are here. If I'm out of breath and I'm breathing heavy, it's because I just ran down the block with my son. So there's that. Should be more in shape than this, I feel like. Oh well. All right, so the pork butts have rested. Underneath the aluminum foil is butcher paper, and that's because I wrapped in butcher paper around the 9.5 hour mark because I was ready to boost these things and get these things done so that I could go to bed. Then after they were finished, I pulled them around the internal temp of around 196. They were feeling decently soft, but not extremely soft. So I pulled them and I put them in my oven and let them rest overnight. And actually most of today, actually pretty much all of today, they've just been resting, ready to go. They have stayed above the safe zone of 145, so they're good. They're nice and like warm. They feel pretty good, ready to shred actually. Let's go ahead and get my gloves out of the workstation. Speaking of which, if you haven't seen the Oklahoma Joe's workstation, you should definitely give that a look on the web. Go to the website. I'll go ahead and leave a link down below. And I actually have a code with Oklahoma Joe's. And I'll put that down below also, and that'll save you 20% off of the workstation all the way through the end of the year of 2023. So there's that. You should check that out because this workstation is awesome. I mean, I'm outside, have everything I need in these drawers, ready to go fast. Big, huge workspace, just makes things really easy. Let's get these opened up, see what they look like. This is the bigger one. This is the one that went on prior to the smoke. Oh, you thought you were about to see the pork butt. But no, there is the butcher paper. Woo. Oh, I'm telling you right now, the key to a great pork butt is a long rest. I mean, this is a thing of beauty. Look at that. Oh, bones ready to go. Let's get that out of there. Oh, nice, good, clean bone. Whoo, I'll tell you what, that's gonna be amazing. We're gonna go ahead and close that back up. Leave it easy enough to get to. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and get this other one opened up, take a look at it, and then we're gonna taste it too and see what the difference is. Oh man, I mean, I just love unwrapping pork butts and briskets, just like Christmas. Could be better than Christmas. I mean, look at that. Woo. Nice and tender, nice and juicy, nice and dark. I mean, I haven't got into the bulk of it, but I'm assuming it's juicy because the way that it just looks on the outside. It's definitely tender. Get that bone out of there. Nice, good, clean bone. All right. Now, grab a piece of this one. I'm gonna grab a piece of the other one. Then we're gonna get a taste test of this amazing pork butt. All right, so here's a bite of the pork butt that went on the smoker after it got up to temp and was running. Let's see what it is. What it is crazy good. All right, so you wanna know about the flavor of this. Smoky, it's there, smokiness is there. It's mild, it's a mild smoke flavor, which is typical with pellet smokers. So it's more mild, it's juicy, like it's really good, really, really good. I'm pretty sure after doing the cook on the grate level for the first time on this generation of the RIDER DLX, I had the generation 1 and I would never, ever, ever cook on that lower grate, smoking on that lower grade on the generation 1. Now on generation 2, after this test, I think that I would line this sucker up all the way across left or right with pork butts and have no problem cooking pork butts on that bottom grate. And they would turn out delicious, just like this. I mean, this is good. So again, smoke flavor is there. It's very, very tasty. But let's see if the other one has a little more smoke flavor. Right off the bat, I felt like it tasted more smoky. Like that initial bite tasted more smoky. As I kept continuing to chew, it mellowed out. It was like a boom, smoke, and then curved down and met the other one. So it was like an immediate smoke down to it's about the same, which makes me wonder if it was more of a surface level smoke flavor, as in on that bark, those big peppers, those big salts, grabbing a hold of that smoke flavor right there at the beginning when it is just like dumping the smoke on. I'm wondering if that is the difference. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna taste the other one more time. That confirms the other one was definitely smokier in that initial bite. I'm gonna go back to it just one more time. Gotta do 2 tests, 2 bites. I mean, this right here looks amazing. I mean, it is dark. Hands down the winner of the smoke flavor. Again, surface level. Didn't seem like made a big difference as far as what carried through down into the meat, but surface level definitely makes a difference, big difference. So I'm gonna suggest you trying this out. Now, some manufacturers, I don't even know, maybe Oklahoma Joe's even says it, to not shut your lid and fire it up. A lot of them want you to open up the lid so that this, there's like this combustion that can happen where it like lightly blows up. It doesn't like poof, when your smoker's in pieces and nuts and bolts are everywhere, but the lid will pop up and there's a light combustion going on in there. I've never had it happen, and I've done this tons of times. But again, use caution, read the manual. Maybe yours says not to do it. Maybe mine says not to do it. I didn't even check. But it's worth doing it. Just kind of keep your distance and try it out, see what happens. This is good. All right, if you found this video helpful, go ahead and hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. And I want to encourage you to get outside and make some crazy good barbecue.